Okay. So it occurred to me that making races, I should have a template of some kind. And I can unfollow them, and then I always like being able to create my own, so having people follow their own thing would be great. Following their own, making their own using the template. So racial bonuses and I guess it would be cultural, right? So racial bonuses that come from the race's anatomy. And cultural. They come from culture. But that sounds stupid. So, cultural bonuses. And cultural bonuses that come from their society. From their society, technology, etc. Okay. Each area gets limited number of points that are distributed to points that are distributed to each area gets the number of points that are used to increase and racial bonuses and bonuses. Okay, so before I figure out get a number, let me figure out the cost is, and I can set a number to kind of balance it. So, ability score improvements. I'm going to give them cost is 2, Health. Health is an interesting topic. What do I want to do? Thinking most of these are kind of hardy, like and also like class health. So I think it should be a D6, D8, or a D10. 6, 8, or 10 with the dice. And yeah. So health. Starting health. Starting health. 6 cost is so. No, that shouldn't cost anything because that's your base. So starting health is 6. Starting health to 8 costs. I can always put this into a table later. I'm just trying to get my thoughts out. So, increasing starting health to 8 costs 1 health. Increasing starting health to 10 costs. I'm going to say 2. Okay, now let's look at some of my so it's 2 and 2 damage type. Resistance plus 2 to damage type. So I only want to increase more of that because, like, the damage is going to be kind of tough with the armor. I'm going to have to kind of balance it somehow. So, resistance to damage type. Cost 3. Damage type 5. Increase speed is 1 for every 5. No, I want to go 1 for every 10. You can be fast. Yeah, I'm thinking that movement's going to not be in feet. I mean, loosely in feet, for like the standard 5-foot squares, but it may not even be squares, it may be hexagons, and the whole diagonals, I think I can just ignore because simplicity, and I don't. That really gets to the weeds of it, but anyway. Um, um, changes to bonuses are based on starting spiritual input bonuses. If not improved, then use I'm gonna use standard. So I'm gonna do bonuses. So it's health 6. Movement is 6. Oh, yeah. 6. Resistance is 0. Unity is 0. That's kind of basically what it is, because everything else can kind of just be added. Actually, let me look something up for a quick second. Okay. So. D-I, okay, spell it, die, C-H-O-2, commas, races, share, cultural benefits, or bonuses. But use Okay, so dichotomy, basically, two parts of the species split off, so they are different in structure, but not culture. Star Trek Enterprise had a cool one like that, where the Xindi or whatever, they all basically evolved from like, they're mammals, reptiles, but they all have the same culture. And there is no, you have only dichotomous because they share the cultural bonuses. Yeah, so what else can I add to racial ability score bonuses? Yeah. Immunity to a condition. Okay, that's weird. YouTube is working. Okay, that was weird. I think we're good now. Okay, so this was saying disease. I do like the idea of crazy diseases giving you stats effects. But yeah, I guess we'll have to figure out what diseases do, like ability score drain, stuff like that. If you're immune to it, you makes sense. And I think that is it. So let's go with the fact that I want. Everyone has like a 2 ability score, so that's 4. Let's do max 10, 4, 6. Yeah, so 4, 5, 6. Let's go with the Cades are, because they're kind of powerful. It's 4. Disease is a 2, right? Yep, a 6. And then 11. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else that I really need to add. I think that's kind of like the basics for all races. Like, actually, vision. Yeah. Now, I'm going to calculate that as senses. I'm going to give that 1. Because I do like having... I've made races who... They have specialty bonuses to their eyes. And they can actually see heat. They basically give them a thermal vision like a snake. Senses, I'm going to do sight, smell, hearing. What are the 5 senses? Oh. I don't know how touch will play a part, but you can make it work. Touch. Cost 1 for each. I think I'm going to leave it at that. Because I don't want to limit their creativity. It kind of reminds me of a discussion I had about Pathfinder 2 and 5e, where Pathfinder 2 has rules for everything. 5e may have rules like for the same thing, but they're much more loose and up into interpretation. So if I don't say, hey, dark vision costs this for this feat and thermal vision costs this. I just... Senses should be cool. I'm actually thinking about doing thermal vision. That was pretty fun mechanic. So let me put this into practice. Oh yeah, I don't... No, I'm going to ignore that because that is... But I won't add that. Nor normal function of body. Eat, sleep, etc. Breathe. Cost 1. Okay, so actually let's do culture bonuses. Oh, actually let me figure out. I think I'm going to start with like 9. That gives you 4 for that, 6 for if you want max health. No, I'm going to say 7. This is 7 points, and we can modify it from there as I go on. Cultural bonuses. To look at some cultural. I'm going to actually rename them. Okay, so they have increased. So improved racial bonus. I'm going to make that 2. Yeah, I'm going to do attack. Attack bonus. We're going to make the cost 5. Because just like an immunity, I have some text in here that are kind of specific to certain races that you could, I mean, storytelling you could get, you could steal or whatever, but getting it without any kind of work is pretty strong. You might not be able to have access to it right away. Like, I'm thinking of doing like a light shield, which is an all-around improvement for your regular energy shield. But being able to have that is increasingly strong. What else is there? Privilege bonus. Yeah. You may reassign your ability bonuses and choose. I don't know how to do that because, like, I feel like the idea that the race that created them, the Cades, created basically a conscious upload, so their bodies wouldn't, their minds wouldn't die if their bodies did in war. And I did think there's no reason to not do that. So, what do I do? Should I make that a racial ability? Not cultural? Or should I make it obviously something? I think that's like, it's kind of cool, but it's not really impactful in the game. So I'm gonna say tech, bridge bonus, tech bonuses. Interspecies interaction. Yeah. completely butcher that. Interspecies NTRICT action will be a 1. Now I'm going to say 2 cost 2, then same action cost 1. Didn't realize my dog downstairs was so loud. Okay, so improved friendship bonuses, tech bonuses, interspecies interaction, same species interaction. So this would be a same species interaction. Yeah, modified. Yeah, custom action, I think I would call it. Yeah, I'm gonna make that for custom action 2. Negotiation. Yeah, how I spell negotiation. There we go. Okay, so you choose. Wow, I really probably should get whatever the program is to make sure it makes sense. Yeah, so these modify the racial bonuses. That's kind of thing. Have you heard of society of creatures that can kind of change their form because you're just quote unquote gelatinous? Just like in sci-fi and human cultures where they modify your bodies, why wouldn't you take random shapes? I'm thinking about changing that so you, yeah. Each form can every morning you can choose to keep the current limbs or change to the other set. Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't want to really just give you. Yeah, I forgot. Actions. So, um, I think they're going to be the same. I don't know. Yeah, because you're getting major superiority. But I think that is fine because I'm going to say you only get bonuses. You don't inflict negatives with your racial abilities. So, ability bonus. You minus superiority on an action. So, oh, I actually still have some instructions, so I'm gonna write that down. So go to here, skills. I still wish I remembered what computer and conditioning was, but I think conditioning was my athletics and acrobatics combined. Um, but I can figure that later. So I'm going to do athletics and acrobatics, just so I kind of know. Instinct. Yeah. That's like insight slash do I bad check and stuff like that. Okay, so back to races. Yeah, gain minus superiority on and I don't want it to be an action because I can get way too crazy. So I'm gonna do skill check. And it costs 1. Okay. So improve racial bonus cost, attack bonus cost, interspecies interaction cost, same species interaction, a custom action, which is the humans basically I'm gonna shoot at you and to intimidate you. Yeah, so adaptive physiology. Would be 2. Um, yeah, I'm trying to fit all these into what I think they should be. You just run to your lure. Yeah. Yeah, think about it. Environmental could be. So, most enemy damage can be resisted. In one word, there's basically 3 ways to resist damage. But environmental, even environmental damage, but that's not. That's more specified. So, like, I'm not gonna have a section for it, but like, it'd be part of like the armor. Like, spacesuit will protect you from space, but it will not protect you from lava, kind of thing. So, I'm going to do partial. I don't want to call it partial immunity, but like, yeah. I'm going to call reduce effects. Effects to a condition. 1, and then. What was the other human thing again? Per type. Business 2. Yeah. Damage. We do plus 1 to environmental damage. Costs. So resistance to one energy type of thing. And immunity to a condition. I think that should honestly be 2, meaning I'm going to have to rework some of these to kind of make them fit, because humans are kind of strong. Like, right now, what do humans get? They get 2 ability scores. Okay, so they have 4, 5, 6, 7. Wow, I actually made them exact without even realizing it. Yeah, 5, 6, 7. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. They are actually perfect. Wow. these guys to let's do quadruped. So resistance 1. So 2, 5. 6. Okay, they're also fit into that 7. I guess I'm gonna go with 7. That is super crazy that I accidentally just chose random numbers, chose random things I thought was valid. Yeah, because these are dichotomous, so all of them gain agility 1 and resistance to acid. Then you have the bipedal version and the quadruped version. I'll be right back. Okay, and I'm back. So, think about the ooze. Um, I don't really know how to classify them because I would like loud dog aside. Um, I think this is going to be a special economy where they can switch between the two. Um, gets security and being shoved on checks. Gets being shoved. Okay, so yeah. So let me go down to the cultural stuff because I'm not done with that. So look. Um, yeah, tech bonus. Yeah, I need to. For glossary, I do have a glossary of keywords, but like. Um, hmm. I kind of lost my train of thought. Let's see. Back to races. Oh, and I remember what I was looking for. I think we're gonna. I can't call them skills. I don't use abilities too much. So let's do more bonuses. Let's do feats. I guess feats the common one that most people use. Yeah, class feat does not count to your level limit because you get X number of feats, then you can access level 2. Um, yeah, I think this is also going to cost 4. 4. How many do I think I should get? I'm honestly looking at the pricing. I think 5. But I think I kind of want something else that costs 1. And I think I'm going to make custom action cost 3. It's kind of balanced out, make more things at 5. Look up here, I have a lot of things that cost 1. A few things that cost 2. Yeah, right now all these races have 6 health. Well, let's see, so that's 2. These are only 4s in there, so we have Cades have 4, 9. They have 11, so they are actually pretty high up. But I think that's good for cultural bonuses. Actually, I still do want one that costs 1. So, where's some other things? I'm trying to think of other virtual abilities. Tech bonus cost. Yeah, I'm trying to think of racial bonuses, because racial bonus. Oh yeah, actually, wow, that funnily works out perfectly because it's the same upgrade cost technically you get elsewhere. So what I'm saying is that resistance is 3 and immunity is 5. When you look at the ooze creatures, which I need to remember what their name is, they gain resistance, and then you could give them immunity, but you're giving them that down here as an option. Or sorry, down here as an option. So what do I... One thing I was also debating is giving a penalty. Hey, how's it going? I'm under D&D because it's really the only tabletop RPG category. Is there a tabletop RPG section? Well, I mean, most people look at D&D, and I did not realize there was a tabletop RPG section. I will fix that in my next stream. Um, cool. Well, that. That's, well, I mean, having less views in D&D means I probably am more, probably means I'm more, not accessible, have better chance of getting views. So, like, I mean, 6 in one hand, half dozen the other. I can switch, but I'll do the next stream. In what way do you mean the space thing? Right now I'm creating a... Um, right now I'm creating a space RPG. Yeah, definitely. Um, right now I'm trying to create a space RPG because Starfinder 1 I was playing. And I kind of liked it. It was really kind of needlessly complicated, and Starfinder 2, looking at some of it, it's basically like Pathfinder 2e. And I've always wanted to create a game. And I like the space genre because it's really not as filled out as I would like it to be. Yeah, there's a lot of cool D&D campaigns. One piece that sounds interesting. I'm currently playing in a Navy game too. And Navy D&D is a unique beast that not many people get into, but it can be a lot of fun. Anyway, I'm working on creating races, and to do that, I'm creating a kind of racial template. Yeah, Pathfinder 1 had a cool custom pirates one that I enjoyed playing in. But yeah, I'm creating the races. I'm creating like a template I can follow to create them, and like with what I'm planning to do is kind of have a section in this of here's my work. And that way if you're a DM, you can make your own. You can kind of follow the same balance and power level, because I end up making a lot of custom races in any game I'm making. You just killed some random bandits. Yeah, there's some crazy... Is this 5e you're playing the pirates, or is it like a custom One Piece world? Because there's definitely some crazy bonuses in a lot of RPGs that, with like 2 or 3 people, that just do some cool, crazy shit. Oh yeah, yeah. There's some definitely unique, and like team ups you can do with abilities in 5e. So right now, I'm just thinking of some cultural things that I can add. I was thinking of making this cultural bonus cost 5 points. I don't know what a Star Druid does, but the rogue, 2 tanks and the cleric definitely has a pretty meaty front line. Is that like color spray and stuff where you can just like blind people? does not count towards the level limit. What am I gonna do? Oh, that's cool. So I have racial bonuses, tech specific to that race. Wow. That's cool. Cool. Yeah, archers are always kind of strong in D&D, more than people give them credit for. Same species interaction, custom action, a class feat, and yeah, action wins you. Oh, cool. A skill increased. So if you want to increase skills, it costs 1. Actually thinking about it. Yeah, that's a lot of healing for level 2. Yeah, so I think I'm going to do the last cultural thing. Is skill. I'm assuming each color gives its own specific buff. Skill. Increased cost 1. Weapon slash. See. Cost 1. Language. Okay. Oh, I ended up getting 3 more that cost 1, so you can do some unique stuff. Oh yeah, that seems pretty strong. Yeah, so looking at this. Improve racial abilities, tech bonus costs. So wow, orange seems pretty powerful. Okay, so what was actually oh yeah, it's in a custom action, which was 3 points. It seems like a pretty powerful ability. I'm gonna actually switch these. That seems pretty powerful at level 2 for an extra attack. um, oh, okay, that makes more sense. Don't want to make that red. I am honestly not super familiar with one. I know about One Piece, but I have not really watched anything besides the Netflix. Is that a powerful fruit? This is one, right? I watched the first season years ago. I haven't continued watching anything after that. Yeah. Okay. I feel like being a cyborg goes against the druid's anti-metal philosophy. Yeah, I'll have to look that up later. Never gonna remember how to spell this word. Oh, okay. Ah, yeah. That sounds accurate from what you were telling me. Asking for help. You get. Yeah, that's kind of the thing with homebrew. Sometimes they're super strong, sometimes they're not. The hard part is getting it balanced, which is why I'm trying to create my quote unquote show my work for how I'm assigning like the races stuff. So, um, A, because I think it helps me out, and B, it will help people create their own homebrew if they want to. Although that might get a little bit complicated when I get to the race, the classes. Um, but people can also kind of homebrew special abilities into that. That's cool. Yeah, it's kind of one of the things I like about the sci-fi genre is that like, I don't know if you ever played Halo 3 ODST, but they have like a biofilm that can kind of close wounds. So healing is not just potions in this game. You can actually get like technological devices to help heal. Also, it's kind of a unique blend. So you can do some magic healing. You can do some science healing. Um, the advantage when using negotiation with other humans when asking for help. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, teleport is a really strong ability. Some people don't give enough credit to. Now I guess it's just me trying to think about the races and their culture so I can give them abilities. Oh, that's cool. Hey, Misty Step's really good. So, um, yeah. Well, have a good night. It was nice talking to you. I'll try to keep that in mind. Right now my schedule is kind of wonky. I'm trying to create like a permanent schedule to do this, but between my weird work hours, it might be a little bit before I can find a consistent time. But my goal is to do Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. So, and at different times for people who are like, it's late and stuff. So I will probably put up a schedule in the next few days on Twitch. If you just want to like follow me, it will show up when I'm going to try working on this. So you can just kind of see. But my current idea is Monday mornings, Tuesday afternoons, and Thursday nights. At my time, so it's EST, Eastern Standard Time in the United States. Yeah. So, what's my goal of humans? I like the whole idea of humans as the space orcs. Hence, they're not the whole... Humans are versatile, like you see in a lot of D&D games or Pathfinder. It's... they're really good at all environments. They take less... basically, environmental effects. Because our environments on this planet are varied. Oh yeah, that would be cool. And I always like having this kind of like flavor text for what they're called, and trying to give them some feeling like always a safe harbor. Humans are always kind of bickering, but when they need help, they help each other out, even if they're war against each other. So you can always Death World initiate. I'm spelling everything badly. I initiate. There we go. Death World initiate, and that is going to give them increase their adaptive physiology. And their adaptive physiology is under cultural. Improve over issue bonus, which is 2. And what was adaptive physiology's cost? Increase. No, so it's 2. Yeah, so another 2 to give a +1. Cool. I like how that just magically works out without me paying attention. 2. By an additional 1 +1. Going to fly. That would be 1. You gain. Yeah, I need to figure out how I'm going to do skills. So I don't like the modern way of skills, where basically in 5e, where basically you choose a skill and then where basically you choose a skill and you level up as you go. Yeah, I mean, I can't like been leveling up, but I also want you to add more to it. So there will be abilities to it. So you gain. I'm gonna actually create a note in skills. Well, bonuses get expertise, and I do like ranks, and ranks is common use. Ranks. Businesses are the creation of expertise, ranks, and ability scores. Um, 0.5 you gain 2 ranks in piloting. Tech, unarmed, from into future. Spin from agent to future. You gain. So let's see, spatial specialties. If I wanted to give them proficiency with cost 1. Whole category costs 3. I'm gonna make that. So yeah. So I do like trying to keep some of the human stuff. So like all the martial arts we have. So from discipline to ancient future, we're gonna give them 3. You become in all Oh yeah, because I do have a training thing I want to do. It's because you can learn stuff outside, like with proficiencies. You can get a rank in a skill. Kind of downtime stuff to kind of improve. Let me jump to traveling downtime. Training levels. I want 2 bullet points. Untrained. Yeah, well, -8. Amateur is -4. Student is -2. So instead of just saying you're proficient, unarmed weapons, you are not in. You are treated as a student for all unarmed weapons you're not proficient in. Basically, not being proficient in something is a pain in the butt, but you can gain proficiency in it. So if you're not good at flying, you do flying enough, you become proficient in the skill of piloting. And so this lets you skip the 2 steps before being untrained and amateur. You're a student of martial arts and you're incorporating that. Yeah, I'm gonna move on to the next one. Forms, and so due to the body, wow, I really kind of couldn't spell last time because their bodies not being confined to like the rest of the species, they can take 1 of 2 forms and gain different abilities. Gear that cannot be worn in the forms take 3 actions. 3 actions, and switching forms takes 3 actions, and you remain that form till you decide to switch. In your form, falls off. Stated. Okay. So quadrupeds give you 2 extra movement. You get minus. These guys are good for kind of squishy, so I don't want to get in how often humans. They kind of maybe are kind of squishy, but like so you gain extra 2 movement and you gain So let's look at my list of things I can give them. Ability score. So right now they are at bipedal 2, 5, so they can get +2 more. So what's... I mean, health wouldn't make much sense. Resistance. Yeah. Increased senses. Yeah, let's see. I think to add something. One for natural attack because yeah, right now they can't use weapons in this form. I'm trying to think what the heat removed ones are like from environmental effects, so I think that's fine. Again, this is rough draft. I can always come back and do something else. So, yeah, I'm going to do that. Yeah, I'm gonna actually give them a bite attack. Actually, I'm just gonna give them an unarmed. That does 1d6 plus strength plus T's corrosive damage. Okay. You could say that for bipedal, but like, what's this having? Besides, you know. That's cultural. Maybe I can't do that. Yeah, normal function of the body, natural attack, cost 1. I you get the ability to hold weapons, but like, so yeah, it's hard because someone with economists is like you're fixed. I can give them like a health increase, but these guys because they can switch between forms, I don't want them to do that. Strength, still agility, body. I could just give them strength, right? So 2, 5. I mean, but yeah, things do change. So like strength +1, and kind of flavor text with like you use guns. Hey, can use weapons that require fingers. Or tuned weapons. Yeah, like that's the thing, like the ooze that radiates my mind is the one from Stellaris. They kind of have tentacles, so I am going to natural because I want that, which is well, which means I bipedal. I want something unique and different. Just a stat boost. Oh yeah, making kind of copy hands that I could give them a great sense of touch. Oh yeah, I think that'd be kind of cool because like a giant, larger monster, because it will be taller when they go bipedal form. So they will get +1. I'm gonna do +2. Bonus to intimidate. And what was the other one? Um, Increase sense touch. Jeez, I'm tired. Okay, so I kind of want to do flavor text, but I'm thinking it's even flavor text for later. Um, that kind of taller. So for quadruped, I'm thinking like wolf size. So how tall is a wolf? Now, thinking about size, I do like a 5e. You really kind of like size bonuses or penalties. Um, I guess where you can just switch. So, should have let me do height 2 feet. So they're shorter, but they're faster and more agile. All forward, and not trying to confine your body to any rigid form. You have more agility. And so quadruped will um, lose ability. Actually, no. Because the natural form, they can still wield guns. Sorry to hear that. So these creatures have speed tentacles, so they can kind of hold guns with other weapons. Being bipedal makes you taller, gives you bonus to intimidate. You can actually have a sense of touch. Being quadruped, you can still wield weapons, tentacles, but you have more limbs, so you are faster, and you do kind of take the animal fish. You do get a bite attack also. Yeah, sorry you can't sleep. Okay, cultural excellence. What would this fall under? For pricing. Um, that is interesting. If I really need to do that, I at one point was doing like history lectures, but I became so fascinated with like history and stuff that, um, honestly, like stand-up comedy helps me fall asleep because it's something I can kind of pay attention to. It's weird. Um, so yeah, I think I'm just gonna do two for this because I don't know what else to call it. And they get the versatility, so it's two because it's kind of modifying them. This race will let you be some kind of freaky creature design, but I kind of like that. Ah, yeah. And then maybe moving away from a volcano land. Um, yeah, so what is the society of these guys? So they are basically they follow social laws, not um basically they follow the spirit of the law, not the letter of the law. And they blew up their home, so it's kind of fractured, but still kind of held together by these strands. So yeah, um, and they're very kind of like Venus style environment, so it's kind of corrosive. Um, that probably comes from you listening to necromancy as you sleep. Close to the core. And that is going to be. I don't remember what I was going to say. Oh, yeah, so that was an environmental effect. Yeah, I think I'm just kind of going to. Yeah, because. Yeah, I can. This stream always sounds interesting. Yeah, I do like these racial bonus because it affects the environment they're born into. But considering some of these are planet spanning cultures, like closer to the core of the Earth, so gravity's heavier, it can also be a cultural thing, but that's kind of weird. Um, so I'm just going to say an additional one cost racial as a cultural. Bonus. Additional one cost racial bonus. Kind of making this template work because You definitely have some interesting dreams. These two condition. Yeah, because all of these can be born of your environment, but you can also train your body. So closest to the core, which will be 1. Heavy gravity is treated as normal for you. But gravity also affects range weapons, so heavy gravity. Yeah, like the D&D spells that you like modify memories and stuff. You can do some crazy stuff with that. There's no. Yeah, heavy gravity for effect on your body, because gravity will have effects on your body, effects on stuff. Yeah, I've also been watching that. That's definitely an interesting, a good show. So yeah, how do these guys get along with everyone? They're kind of rough around the edges, but free. I mean, don't worry about spelling. If you see what I've been doing, I've been kind of relying on Google autocorrect, Words autocorrect. And I still can't spell negotiations. I have to go up to introduction all the time and copy it. Well, they say a lot of the foods we like are poisonous, like citrus fruits, like oranges, are technically poisonous to you, which is why they have that kick, this acidity. Treat as normal gravity for the effects on your body. Yeah, so they get along with people. They kind of do. I mean, the way they view crime and stuff. Yeah, how many do I actually? I kind of agree with that. How else do they? Yeah, I definitely want so they don't. Oh right, um, home world, tough. Weird. Tough, and this is going to be a technology, right? Yeah, it's gonna be weird because it's gonna be technology that doesn't really help you. I mean, it doesn't necessarily. Oh, I totally forgot the cost. Texas 4. 4. Can create leave. Have a good night. Okay, excellent to weave. So, yeah, the whole weird blend of science and technology is going to be kind of weird for this, but create XML weave. Giving any armor +4 to corrosive. Yeah, I do like. I don't know how crazy you want to get. About vocals, how that all of them communicate. I don't want to. That was always the interesting thing in Star Wars, but you can understand their language, but they can't speak yours based on vocal structure. Yeah, skill creep. But I will think about that later. Right now, everyone can speak the languages. Yeah, additional language, weapon armor proficiency cost. So, yeah, I think because you're slimes, they can kind of wiggle around if anything, so. Make that 2, because we're going to get such a huge bonus. Major superiority. mean, I may want to change that. Because conditioning... I don't know how crazy that will be. So I'm going to do... Artist. Disney checked, okay. Alright, cultural thing. And some abilities probably won't fit into a category. Actually, that could be custom. Yeah, okay. That would be 3, because that's custom action. I'm going to make that 2. No. Yeah, I think it's like... yeah, playing on 5. So right now... and I do like Pathfinder's bulk for weight. Yeah, I might just copy that, but... yeah, you can keep 1 bulk inside your body. Let me think. Trying to think of something else that they could do. You don't want to give them all custom technology or items, but I mean, it makes sense to have their own as they do that. I keep on thinking, I like the fact that they can kind of squeeze their body and become like an octopus. Yeah, and I think that'll be a custom action. Squeeze 3. Not by gear. You can fit through any open any gear than foot. Yes. I mean, how many have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These guys have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. Okay, Cade. So you have 5, 4, 9, 11. So you. I mean, these guys are kind of metal. Let's see, environmental damage. Do like to have him. Use it +1 to put into 2 situation scores. I mean, that immunity is just so much. Yeah, that's a lot of immunity. And I don't know, I mean, most weapons will do poison damage, but they will be poisoned. So how crazy is poison going to be? What's poison going to do? I mean, I was thinking like damage over time. Poison gas. Because it targets. I know you think there'll be some poison, some chemical weapons. Some poison. So Yeah, I think poison weapons will have linger, which is the area it stays. More persistent, I guess. And it stays. So if you're in there, you fail you. Yeah. Oh, wait, spells do poison damage. And poison basically will do damage. Can't, I guess, like burning over time. So I don't know how to fix it. I mean, not giving them. I mean, it's not like they won't get any racial because they'll get the racial they choose from above. And this is just like an addition. So, to put into 2 racial scores, so I'm going to remove that. So 5, 6, 7. These. Yeah, I think that's basically kind of what they're basically robots. So they'll have less stats because, like, I guess that's fitting. They're modeled off of biology, so they don't have the usual, like, hydraulic strength. They basically have limited strength because that's what their parts are. See, what's that? They have, like, they don't have their strength doesn't whatever our muscles are, so they can do more. But we're designed like a biological creature with using mechanical parts. Yeah, you need to live. Do you like to say Scion Defender? Yeah. And I do like that. Like, like I like that you can be one of the originals. I mean, yeah, so not everyone would be, and there's a lot of them like the fact that death is not a permanent consequence. So, but some of them like the finalities that gives them a meaning, so you don't have to do it. So it's not you aren't the original. I'm actually gonna do. Built Lance. Rebuilt. Rebuilt Defender. Gain access to the particle pistol. And it's custom tech. So these guys are gonna have a kind of a lot of custom tech stuff. And these guys are gonna be, yeah, because I mean it makes sense that all of them are kind of different. These guys are quote unquote heavy tech because their creators were pretty smart and had access to a whole bunch of stuff before they died out, because I mean it's not like they were more physically weak, but the creatures around, the races around them were physically strong in comparison, so they had to use their mind. Gain access to the particle pistol. You one of the one of the 9,000. This is going to take all 5. You gain you gain yeah, try to meet all fit into improve racial bonus. Yeah, yeah, I guess these guys are kind of baffled what they were in. They were an obstacle in the campaign I made them for. Particle pistol, you gain +1 to body one, two. Body brilliance. Um, yeah, body brilliance and body and brilliance. Gain 2 ranks in lore warfare. That may change. So yeah, these guys are going to be kind of expensive at their abilities, but they are kind of strong. Step space. Reducing time by half. Cannot be tracked by which reduces travel time by half. Cannot be tracked by these that cannot subsist. So basically, yeah, I think that's going to be space engine. Yeah. Visualize 3. Gain access. Action. As an action. You can copy species. It's actually copy center species. You take a look mannerisms of that species. Yeah, I mean, holograms are will be illusion effect, so this is not in. It's not in. This is not an illusion effect. And yeah, this is not an illusion effect, meaning like you can just spell it, it's not magical. And basically in the shapes their bodies. Look, speech being of that species. Okay, well, I think that's gonna call it here for today. I may add a little bit more lesser ones to the cage, but I will do that later. I'm going to save and end the stream.